memory, and that's good. Damon Allen, one of the young juniors who last year skated to the music from the natural, and in doing so he finished ahead of John Baldwin Jr., moving ahead of him to win first place in the junior national competition. That was just a few months ago, earlier this year. He began skating at the age of 5. When he is off the ice, he loves to play tennis. He's warming up a bit now. Just a few moments ago, he has a little more time to prepare himself. John Baldwin Jr. had to retire in the middle of his program. We are just underway. Damon is only the second competitor to hit the ice. Remember, Todd Eldridge is the favorite in this competition. And this is a competition that in past years we talked about 85 and Debbie Thomas. Certainly that was her coming out party. That same year, while it was Brian Boitano that won, it was Christopher Bowman that stole the show. And right now Christopher he's having some problems. Todd Eldridge has surpassed him. I would think if Bowman gets his act together, Peter, what we're looking at is more quality depth for the men, much like we now have in the United States for the women.
That is very true.
The reason why we're having this pause in action, we apologize for it. We are trying to find out, and I believe the Federation is trying to find out, if John Baldwin Jr. has pulled out of the competition altogether, or if in fact he will have an opportunity to come back and skate yet again. We're going to show you now just what happened to John Baldwin Jr. This was just moments ago, just prior to Barry and Charlene throwing it to us.
He executed his triple toe loop without any problem. And then he grimaces as if he's in pain. I think he must have torn a muscle or had a muscle spasm of some sort.
He favored his hip. He's there, and of course his mom and dad are his coaches. He was trying to let them know, hey, I think I may be able to come back. Don't worry about it. We'll try to get the official word on John Baldwin Jr. and his status within this competition as time permits. But for the moment, it's Damon Allen on display.
And the first of his 8 elements will be a flying camel.
Damon out of Rockford, Illinois. Only 18 years of age. Always a big moment when you're in your senior competition at the national level, just coming out of juniors.
And here is a big moment. A triple Lutz, unfortunately a double, and he had to turn out and do the double toe loop separately.
So he'll get a minor deduction for that.
Absolutely.
We have just received word that John Baldwin Jr. has officially withdrawn from the competition. That's a tough break. That's a good young skater gone from this competition. But right now, you're looking at Damon Allen.
Oh, triple toe loop with a fall. Very difficult for this young man to start off like that. You know, it could have shaken him up a little bit, because when Baldwin withdrew, he wasn't probably really together or really psyched up for this, so he went out probably a couple minutes earlier than he would have.
Much like the hacker, the golfer that goes to the tee box and suddenly has to wait an extra 4 or 5 minutes. You know how that driver may not go the way you'd like it to go. That's a similar situation that young Allen found himself in. But But life is about adapting, and the 18-year-old is learning that lesson right here.
Unfortunate. The fall.
The crowd that we have here trying to be supportive. We should mention, and much has been written and said about this Olympic festival here in Los Angeles. This is, without question, in the 6 years of ESPN's coverage of the figure skating venue at an Olympic festival, the worst crowd that we have had. There is no question about that.
And here is the triple toe Wally. Not close. Unfortunate.
Let's go down to Debbie Thomas. Debbie?
Damon, I know not the performance that you wanted. Did you have any problems having the long wait? Did that affect you any, or?
Not really. It gave me more time to prepare, which I didn't really use it wisely to prepare, obviously.
Well, I know it's hard, and I think you really have a good future for you. You look very mature out on the ice, and it takes a while for us to get past these things. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Debbie. And Damon Allen trying to handle it as best he can. I'd like to make mention of this. I said the worst crowd that we've had in the 6 years of our coverage. I don't mean to demean those that are here. They're being very supportive, but this is the most meager crowd we have had. Only 6,000 to 7,000 or so are here at the Great Western Forum. At every other Olympic festival that we've covered, it has been standing room only, packed to the rafters for this particular venue. So the sell job at the Olympic Festival for the figure skating venue has not been as successful, I'm sure, as the organizers here locally would have liked. We're waiting for the judges, and they have now made their decision on technical merit, and the numbers are going to be hovering around the 4 mark,
Yes,
Peter.
and that is obvious why the marks are where they are. And remember, 6.0 is a perfect mark. A 4 would be considered good, and from 5s all the way to 6.0 is excellent.
The marks for presentation are 4.6, 4.8.
Artistic impression just a bit better.
4.8, 4.8.
They're still in the 4 area, as high as 4.8. There are 4 of them. But we have more on the way. Don't forget Todd Eldridge, 2-time national champion. All of that on the way when